Hello guys, today we're gonna be doing what if Deku was a Spider-Man. And yeah, I know I'm supposed to do what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Rengoku, but you know, since it's like what 9:24 right now, yeah, 9:24, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to upload this today. So yeah, and I just wanted to upload another series. Yeah, let's just hop right into it. Oh right, no, actually, no let go for this entire series because I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man was like one of my favorite superheroes growing up. But yeah. Anyway, let's hop right in. So we start off with Deku at the Quirk Doctor, and this time he actually does have a quirk, and his abilities are going to be extremely similar to Miles Morales. And yes, he is going to have the hell? He's going to have all of Spider-Man's abilities. When the Doctor says that he has an extremely powerful quirk, and yeah, I know a lot of people don't make his abilities a quirk; they just give him the Spider-Man's backstory. But he's a Spider-Man. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he has the lightning, the invisibility, and the normal Spider-Man abilities, which is just web shoot. Well, you can call that a gadget, but I'm gonna count that as one of his abilities because I'm pretty sure Miles was able to do it without a gadget. And stick to walls, and yeah, Spidey senses. Yeah, that's what I forgot. Now, when Deku gets his quirk, he is extremely happy. Oh right, and he has super strength. I almost completely forgot about that. Super strength, super endurance, and superhuman abilities, pretty much. Anyway, back to our story. Deku pretty much. Sorry. Goddamn. All right. Yeah, Deku pretty much, just tells everybody at school about his quirk, and everybody, thinks Deku's quirk is cool. Him being able to shoot out webs and stuff, and Deku still wants to be like All Might, a hero, and then starts thinking of designs for his hero costume, which this is when he starts drawing out a hero costume. And Deku's hero costume, if you've seen Spider-Man fan art, then you would see, or like his green and white type Spider-Man. Hold on. It's hard to explain. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, his green and white, and like a little bit of red. That Yeah, if you've seen fan art of Deku and Spider-Man like combined, yeah, there you go. And Deku, sorry, Deku ends up thinking about this hero suit, wanting it to be his, and yeah, Deku proceeds to train with his quirk over the next few years, and Bakugo does not bully him because he respects Deku, and Deku does not get cocky because it's Deku we're talking about, and Deku still has the same hero heart, so he will save anybody if it comes to. And yeah, it's the last day, and it pretty much goes close to like I said, close to canon. My bad. It goes close to canon, but Deku does not get bullied, and does not Pakugo doesn't tell him to jump off a roof, or none of that. None of that happens. He just decides to take him the long way home, and takes the long way home. And yes, he is friends with Bakugo, just not heavily, or they're not best friends anymore because Bakugo's attitude, and Deku didn't like the fact that how he was acting against others, and always came in to rescue people that were getting bullied by Bakugo. So Bakugo kind of dislikes Deku, or has disdain for Deku. So yeah, and Deku continues under the bridge, and ends up sensing something, and then like pretty much doing a backflip while the Sludge Villain is trying to attack him. And this time he's trying to be sneaky, not yell out what he's trying to do to Deku. So yeah, he jumps towards Deku, and Deku just jumps, pretty much does a backflip over the sludge villain, and this shocks the sludge villain, and Deku immediately gets in a fighting stance, being prepared to fight the sludge villain. And he pretty much is like bouncing around, dodging all the sludge villain's attacks and taunting him, like, a Spider-Man. And well, some Spider-Man, not all Spider-Man do that, because we aren't gonna talk about some of them, the ones that don't do that. Anyway, yeah, Deku's that type of Spider-Man. He does bounce around, and then taunts him. And at some point, All Might comes and hits the sludge villain. Sorry, hits the sludge villain with a Detroit Smash. Causing wind to him, and hit the sludge villain, and the sludge villain ends up getting knocked out. And this is where Deku starts fanboying over All Might, but All Might, pretty much is okay with Deku, because All Might is pretty much used to this, and he does sign Deku's autograph, and they go their separate ways. And the sludge villain attack never happens, and the second sludge villain attack doesn't happen because of Bakugo, or because Deku didn't jump on All Might's leg. My bad. And yeah, Deku pretty much trains for the 10 months, and when they, damn it, why can I not think straight right now, G? My bad. Deku pretty much, damn, why can I not think right now? All right, I'm gonna close my computer. Maybe that's why. All right, yeah, Deku goes to the UA building, and he is impressed about how big it is, and ends up pretty much, sorry, he doesn't trip this time because his spider senses, and he just doesn't trip because he's confident in himself, and nobody else trips because that just wouldn't happen. And yeah, Deku continues through, and he's got to sit next to Bakugo, and Bakugo and him kind of make small chit chat, but they're friends, but they're not best friends. And as I said earlier, and yes, they do talk because they've been in school forever, and pretty much it's pretty much just Bakugo yelling at Deku, or not yelling, but quietly yelling at Deku about how he's gonna be first place and beat him, which Deku just tries to ignore. But then when Ida gets up, he turns around and looks towards Bakugo and Deku, and starts telling them that they need to be quiet unless they don't want to be heroes. And this confuses Deku, but he stands up for himself, saying that he was just minding his own business. All right, so you need to mind your own business. All right, and then Deku continues saying that you're making a bigger distraction by pointing out what we're doing. And he does, realizing that, he says sorry, and then sits back down. And President Mike chuckles by this, and then they continue into the physical portion of the exams. And once Deku is put in the same place as he is in canon, sorry. And once the gates fly open, Deku you can just see Deku web slinging and pretty much destroying robots. Kicking them with his insane strength, and using his webs to throw them into buildings and on the floor. Pretty much adapting to Spider-Man's fighting style, which since he's had his quirk for so long, has pretty much mastered Spider-Man's normal fighting style. And yeah, Deku proceeds to continue destroying robots for the entire time. Does not stop because he doesn't know or doesn't think that he's gonna make it, or not, he doesn't think, but he wants to make it, so he goes all out. And then he feels the ground rumbling, and he's quite confused. And then his spider senses go off like crazy, and Deku turns to see a big giant robot, and he's about to swing away, but then he hears "help me," and this is when Deku's heroic nature comes in, and he immediately rushes towards the girl, grabbing her with his webs, and then pulling her towards him. And when he catches her, the sludge, or not sludge, the robot is about to, or is like inches away from Deku's face with his fist. And Deku did not see this coming because he was too focused and didn't, notice his spidey senses going off. Deku pretty much turns his body, tanking the full hit of the Sledgeland, which shocks everybody. And Deku gets up after this and then charges lightning into his hand, which everybody sees, and then he pulls himself up with his webs, and then pretty much rushes toward the Sledgeland and punching it straight in the head with an immense amount of lightning, pretty much frying the robot's circuits, and kind of putting a huge dent in the robot's head. Even if he didn't fry his circuits, he would have destroyed the robot anyway because of the dent messing with the inside of the robot. And after he after he lands, he goes back to the girl to take her to Recovery Girl, and she asks what's his name, and Deku says Izuku Midoriya, which she says her name is Ochako Uraraka, and Deku leaves, and a week goes by, and Deku gets his acceptance letter into UA, which which he says that, or which All Might pops up and says that he's got the top score, and his he has a lot of promise to be a hero, and he got 60 hero points for saving a girl, or the girl, and this puts his normal points was like about 200, which shocks Deku because he didn't notice how many robots he was actually destroying himself. So but Deku pretty much just threw a whole bunch of robots around into like buildings and stuff. Since Deku has immense super strength, this was like literally no difficulty. Like it had no difficulty to this, and that's what Deku got. And with these 60 hero points and his 200 normal points, he got the highest score. And he got 260 points in total, beating the second place. I think Bakugo got like 100. So I think he did. So I guess he beat Bakugo by 100, and or 160, my bad. And like 2 or 3 days later, Deku goes to school, and he sees how big the door is. He thinks the people inside might be pretty large, and he opens the door to see Bakugo and Ida yelling at each other. And then Ida turns his attention to Deku, and same with Bakugo. Bakugo, being irritated that he lost to Deku, starts yelling at him. Or sorry, he doesn't know that he lost to Deku, my bad. He starts yelling at Deku for pretty much saying how did he get it with his weak quirk, and Deku says that his quirk was never weak, but okay, and starts walking to his to the seat, and Ida, says that he's a better student for figuring out the secret part of test, but Deku says that he's just being a hero, and Ida says, "Yeah, right." And then Aizawa comes in, and I keep saying "and" like a lot, but please, last. Anyway, Deku pretty much, sorry, Deku pretty much tells, not tells, not Deku. God damn it, Aizawa tells them that the same thing they did in canon. Canon Rocket makes the same comment she does in canon. Then they proceed out they proceed to the lockers, and everybody gets their stuff on, and they go outside. When they go outside, Arzawa asks for the first place person in the entrance exam go up first, which Deku does, and he grabs the ball or takes the ball from Arzawa, and Arzawa tells him to throw it with 100%, and Deku proceeds to reel back his hand and throw it, and it's a pretty impressive throw, about 500 meters. And then Bakugo starts yelling at Deku, saying you should go all out, like use your lightning or use your webs. And Deku kind of gets irritated, like, Bakugo, why would you say that? And then Aizawa tells him with a more serious tone, if he doesn't go all out, that he's gonna expel him. And Deku, kind of shakes by this, but Aizawa throws Deku another ball, which Deku catches, and then you can see like lightning going around his arm, like yellow lightning going around his arm, and then Deku gets ready to throw it, and he does. He throws it, and you can feel the shockwave from the lightning and the, in his normal insane super strength, and Deku, Deku, after he throws the ball, and the light, you can just see lightning, sparks of lightning coming off the ball when it's in the air. Deku kind of shoots a bit of webs, pushing it a bit farther than it already was going to land, and Deku gets about 3,000 meters with this, and this shocks everybody. Not believing the fact that he just did that. And everybody starts getting hyped up, saying this is going to be fun. But Aizawa, tells them the same thing he does in canon. And we continue with Deku pretty much getting, the top on all of the tests. And a few days later, Aizawa walks into the room stating that he's not going to be the teacher for today. He says that they're going to have another teacher, and he's going to be arriving just about now. And All Might comes into the door, swings the door open, and says, I'm walking through the door like a normal person. Yeah, I know I sound so depressed when I'm saying it, but we're not going to talk about that. Deku pretty much continues, or not Deku. Everybody, starts cheering, and yeah, everybody, does. And then, Deku pretty much, not Deku, sorry. All Might explains what they're gonna do, which is the heroes versus villains, like in canon. And all the, fights, or not fights, sorry. All of the teams are the same, and when everybody sees Deku with his costume, they say it makes sense. Seeing the green in green, green. Why do I keep saying it like that? Green, white, and red spider outfit, and everybody likes Deku's costume, and Deku thanks them, and they get ready to go. And when Deku and Uraraka get put on the team, Deku tells Uraraka that Bakugo's probably gonna fly right to him, and Deku, or not Deku, Uraraka says, okay, so what are we gonna do? And Deku says, we're gonna pretty much go right by. you can use your quirk to float. He tells Uraka to float to one of the windows to see if she can see him, because he can stick to the walls and get to break the window and get to wherever Ida is. And Uraka, uses her quirk to float once the match starts, and they're not in the building at this point. Bakugo is still going down the stairs, and once Uraka locates it, he pretty much Deku pretty much climbs up the wall and then grabs Uraka while she's using her quirk to make herself float, pulling her over to him, and then he breaks through the window and pretty much spams webs like you would do in the Spider-Man games. Well, me and my friends do when we. Oh my god, sorry. But yeah, when you spam webs and it will just cover their arms, or like put their arms stuck pretty much like that. If you play the Spider-Man game, you would know. Sometimes you would have to do that against certain NPCs and sometimes bosses. Deku, after doing this to Ida, and since the webs are pretty powerful when they impact, since Deku's spamming webs, it pretty much gets Ida stuck to the wall, and Deku and Uraka touch the bomb, and this is when the hero team is called the victor. And yeah, this pisses off Bakugo, but it pisses off Bakugo because he didn't get to find anybody, and Ida was defeated so quickly, and everybody's kind of surprised at how easily Deku and Uraka took down Ida, and then proceeded to just touch the bomb and win that easily. And they praise Deku, and All Might tells Deku and Uraka that they did a wonderful job, and and All Might tells Baku and Ida their flaws. And this is where I'm gonna leave off part 1 to what if Deku was a Spider-Man. Sorry. Peace out, everybody, and goodbye.